The issue of voting rights for Irish citizens living abroad is something that the European Union Affairs Committee has also addressed in a report published in Leinster House today. It comes in the back of criticism of the Irish government by the European Commission. We were one of 5 countries that they criticised for not giving voting rights to our citizens living in the rest of the European Union, and they were afraid that this failure to give voting rights to our citizens living abroad in effect went against the principle of freedom of movement in the European member states. So we looked at the issue. We asked in the Commission themselves to explain their rationale. We asked a number of ambassadors from EU member states in so that they could tell us how they make sure their diaspora have the right to vote. We heard from a number of Irish academics as to what impact this would have on the Irish electoral system, and we also heard from a range of political parties as to what their views are in relation to extending the franchise to Irish citizens living abroad. The conclusions of the work that we undertook are that the government needs to set up an electoral commission to make sure that we work out a system whereby we can extend voting rights to people in a workable manner. We believe that the government should accept the principle of extending voting rights. There was very strong agreement for extending voting rights in presidential elections. For Dáil elections, we do too believe that a system should be designed that would be workable. We looked at systems such as the French have, whereby they've got specific constituencies, overseas constituencies for French citizens living, for instance, in America, French citizens living in Northern Europe. We looked at the system that other countries have, whereby you get to vote in the province where you're from, like the Spanish. For instance, if I'm living in London and I'm Spanish, but I'm from Madrid, I would have a vote in the Madrid constituency in the Spanish elections. So there's a range of workable solutions out there. We also heard about whether how people would vote. Would it be by postal ballot? Would it be in person at the embassy? Or would it be like the Estonians, where an online system is used? So there are a range of solutions out there for how we could ensure that people can have can get their votes, and that the votes can be secure, and there can be no fraud involved. Many people discussed whether or not it's right to extend representation to people, and that oft quoted phrase, representation without taxation. But of course we give representation in the country at the moment to some people who aren't paying tax, whether or not they're not working or whether they're retired. Many people, of course, living overseas continue to contribute in the form of remittances, a form of subsidy, a form of taxation to the Irish state. Many others are involved with making sure that Irish businesses overseas are promoted, and of course many come home on a regular basis as tourists. And there's a lot of people out there who, while currently they're living abroad, they see their long-term future as being within this Irish state. So we think it's right that people out there, if they want to continue to have an involvement with the Irish state, should be allowed to do so by means of a vote. We heard from academics as to what this would mean in terms of the makeup of a future Irish Parliament. Dr. Adrian Kavanagh made the point that if we saw the same level of turnout, the same types of systems as we see in other member states, then in a 3-seat constituency, if we allowed people, say, living in Arizona who came from Dublin North, if we allowed them to vote in Irish elections, it would probably be about 500 votes in all in Dublin North in a 3-seater. It may be 1,000 votes in all in a 5-seater. Dr. Kavanagh looked at the implications of that in terms of the seat distribution, and he was of the view that probably about 3 different constituencies would have been affected at the last election. It would be that kind of level of things. All of these contributions, all of these transcripts are available online at www.oireachtas.ie. If you go into the committees and look at the meetings and look back through May and June, you'll see this under voting rights, and you can read those contributions. We'll take any questions or comments to the European Union's website, and we'll try to get back to them all.